Hello and welcome to another episode of Your Absolute Mind podcast. I'm your host, Paula Sweet, and today we're delving into the wonderful world of hypnosis. And it's my favorite part of my job that I do day in and day out. Now, first off, I need to start by saying that hypnosis is absolutely a real thing. And you shouldn't be viewing this in the terms of magic or things like sorcery. You'd be surprised at just how many people seem to classify hypnosis as something that's not of this world or simply made up with a skeptic view of what it is and what it can do. So for that reason, I've put some links in the podcast notes with studies on hypnosis effectiveness and for many reasons. Now, these reasons include a reduction in depression, reducing time required to achieve desired benefits when combined with traditional counselling and psychotherapy. It can help with pain management, it can reverse skin disorders, and it can even help with PTSD. So if you want to read those studies, the links are within the show notes. Now, let's start off with a common question that I still get asked to this day after 10 years of being a hypnotherapist. What is hypnosis? Now, this can be defined in many ways, but let's drag a little excerpt from Wikipedia, as they do have a nice, neat and a concise description of what it is. So, from Wikipedia, hypnosis is a state of human consciousness involving focused attention and a reduced peripheral awareness and an enhanced capacity for response to suggestion and positive change. To give you an example of what hypnosis is and something that's commonly taught throughout hypnotherapy training practices around the world, hypnosis is a state of trance, and the most common example of a day-to-day trance is while we're driving. Just think for a moment. Perhaps you're on a route that you know all too well. You've got the radio on in the background and you're thinking about what the day has to offer and the things that you might have to get done. When you get to your destination, more often than not, you can't quite remember the route that you took. The cars that were in front of you, what happened at the roundabouts, the traffic lights. Many people actually say that they don't remember any of their journey. And then the strange addition, while you're driving, without seemingly paying any attention to the journey, the radio was on in the background. Now, if you're asked what was playing, you probably wouldn't remember. However, you'll most likely be singing a song or humming one throughout the day without giving it a second thought. So, go back to while you were driving. It seems that the music was implanted within your brain and then begins to play during the day without any conscious effort, on a bit of a loop, on repeat. Now, this leads me quite nicely to how does hypnosis work? Now, as demonstrated just now, while you're in a distracted or in a state of trance, and this could come in many guises such as confusion, relaxation, monotony, overload. The things that are happening externally of your conscious awareness enter into your subconscious mind. Hypnosis isn't as scarce as you might have thought. In fact, you'll be in states of hypnosis regularly, many times. And TV is a great form of hypnosis. It's part of the reason that adverts can be so effective. Now, a great analogy that I once heard regarding how hypnotherapy works very similar to how a nightclub operates. Imagine for a moment that a nightclub is your brain. It's where all the action's happening, lots of things are going on at any one time, and it's a fun place to be, and things are happening all the time. People are just going with the flow. Now, this is your subconscious. The conscious mind, which is the sensible part, also known as the critical faculty, would be the bouncers on the front door. Now, the bouncers are there to make sure only the right type of people enter into the nightclub. And these minders of the subconscious part of your brain have the job of controlling what goes in and what happens within it. The job of a hypnotist or hypnotherapist is to put in a suggestion into that subconscious mind without the interruption of the critical faculty or the bouncers. Now, if the hypnotist or hypnotherapist or even a person trying to implant suggestion has a face-to-face discussion with the bouncers about why they should be allowed in, there's a huge chance that this new suggestion will be rejected because the guardians of the subconscious feel that it's not suitable for some reason. It's now the hypnotist's job to get past these bouncers. So as we've learned earlier, about how do we get past the conscious critical faculty and create hypnosis. Hypnosis or trance can be produced by relaxation, boredom, shock, overload, compliance, misdirection. It's the hypnotist's job to try whatever is the most suitable to get past the person's critical faculty to ensure that the positive suggestion is allowed into that subconscious mind. And just like the music within the background that you didn't consciously hear, once in, that positive suggestion will and can begin to play or act out to deliver the results that are desired. So, as a seasoned hypnotherapist for the past decade, the way that I like to produce trance is, I'm sure you've guessed it, relaxation. That lovely feeling of being weightless and just enjoying the process of progressive muscular relaxation and visualization. It can be so magical. Remember, the brain doesn't differentiate between a real or an imagined event. And this is why it can be effective for goal setting and even PTSD. The ability to build a new association along with the feelings which complement it is unmatched. It's why there's so much funding into VR, virtual reality, and AR, which is augmented reality. Both are trying to do what our minds, when coupled with a professional hypnotherapist, do daily. So don't be frightened of hypnosis. It's a natural state, a powerful learning process, thoroughly enjoyable, and very effective at assisting with positive change. Feel free to look back through my catalogue on this show, as there are hundreds of hypnosis sessions that are available and free for your perusal. So I hope I've answered any questions that you might have had about what hypnosis is and can it benefit you. In short, hypnosis, in my opinion, is a wonderful tool. It can help you to create powerful, positive change. So that's all for today's episode of the podcast. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.